Give it up for Mr. Rudy Obrero.
Take a seat. You're just stuck in the middle with you. Ich weiß gerade noch gar nicht. Wir haben gerade einen sehr schönen Moment erlebt. Vielleicht waren einige von euch mit dabei, als oben im Bereich, wo die Künstler, vor allem der Simon Soltau unterwegs ist, als diese beiden gerade zusammen ein Bild angefangen haben zu malen. Und das ist so irre, weil, ohne dass es jetzt theatralisch klingen soll, aber am Ende hatte ich mal eine Träne in den Augen, weil wer hätte denn das gedacht, als 2001 diese Show, diese Idee von einer Zusammenkunft von Masters, Nerds, Freunden, Spielzeugsammlern, Geschichtenerzählern, als das begann und heute sein 25-jähriges Bestehen feiert und wir am Ende dieses Glück haben dürfen, jemanden, der tatsächlich diese Toyline mit kreiert hat, mit auf den Weg gebracht hat und so viele unglaubliche Momente in unseren eigenen Vorstellungen geschenkt hat durch die Szenerien, die er gemalt hat, dass er heute hier ist. Darum möchte ich nur bitte, auch wenn wir einen ganz tollen Announcer hatten, wir brauchen jetzt nochmal einen ganz festen Applaus mit Jubel, Geschrei und Aufstehen und Klasse und Grayskull. So that's really crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy crowd.
If we can, ob wir diese Erwartungen erfüllen können, if we can fulfill these expectations.
Maybe, so we have time 25 years from now to the next anniversary, the bigger anniversary, so most of us will be there in their 70s, so I think we will have fun when we always are here in a place where usually young people came around to have a good time, and then we were sitting here with our He-Man toys and She-Ra toys and telling crazy stories to each other. But I think we have now 40 minutes to look at something that was so special, and Mark did a lot of work for this panel to put some of the stations of Rudy together, and we just want to take a look at time travel at his work for Mattel and all ups and downs.
So I think you forgot a small thing. I think this microphone is out.
Turn it on, boy.
No.
Turn it on.
Test? No?
I give you mine.
Okay. You forgot a small thing to introduce ourselves. Some of you saw us yesterday on stage. My name is Mark Knobloch, and I'm doing with Miriam since 11 years a print magazine about Masters of the Universe called Die Welt der Meister Magazin, and we're doing a lot of research. And Jürgen?
I'm Jürgen. I do not run the World der Meister magazine with Miriam. But sometimes we have some corporate or we work together and have good time and think about crazy projects. So, and I'm here for 15 years now at Grayskull, so it's fun to be here, and it's always a great time, and it's fun to look at all these new faces sitting down and all the old ones I already know for several years. So
Yeah, and
great to have you here.
And we hacked a little plan last year in Erlangen with the Comic Salon, where Rudy was as a guest, and
we also. We only were guests.
We only were guests there, and Miriam and myself, we had contact with Rudy because he gave us a magazine cover for our magazine, which we could use. and we asked him if we find some time in Erlangen to speak to him besides the trouble of the comic saloon. And he said, hey, why not have lunch or dinner together? And so we sat down for 4 hours there, had our schnitzel.
Yeah, German schnitzel.
Yeah, German schnitzel. And asked him how about to come to the Grayskull Con and experience this familiar environment with all the fans. And now he's here, and I think it's enough of pre-talk. Maybe Rudy wants to say something?
Rudy, why are you here at Grayskull Con?
Thank you for having me. I'm honored to be here, and I'm thinking you guys are getting tired of seeing me already.
No, we will never get tired.
Anyway, yeah, I'm glad to be here. I love this place. It's beautiful, and it's friendly. It's very cozy. I'm used to having really complicated conventions where the bathroom is like a mile away and the parking is impossible. So yeah, this is a real treat.
Okay, we have to share this mic because we have only two which we're working. This
You
one
do all
doesn't
the
work.
talking, actually.
Yes. So we're here to talk about your Masters of the Universe art. This is what the most people are interested or know from your. We've seen a lot of work from you yesterday from other franchises and brands such as movie posters, etc. Let's start with the first picture I've put in this PowerPoint. It's He-Man and Battle-Cat, which is of course an iconic picture for the Battle-Cat artwork that you did. And maybe just tell us how the work at Mattel started.
You can back up that one to the sketch.
Yeah, of course.
That's the pencil. This is a pencil sketch for I submitted to Mark Taylor, and this is the very first He-Man project I was on. And you can see this one's pretty detailed, and it was nice because I turned this one sketch in, and then it went to finish with no changes. You know, he just said, "Cool, do it." You know. Yeah, it was nice. And then when I turned it in the World of Illustration, getting something through without a change is like a miracle. So I turned in the finished art, which is the next piece.
So Mark Taylor asked you to do a sketch of it, and this was how you came in?
I always do a sketch, so
Okay.
I don't ever get to do anything cold. So I have to present a thumbnail, a sketch, a working sketch. So this is a working sketch where you can kind of see the values, you know, the darks and lights, and how it's going to look like basically on the package. And yeah, so this went well, and then when I did the finish, it went the same way. He just said, "Okay, cool." It was happy. There was no changes to it at all.
Jürgen, you have to explain me later what you did with this mic before. There's only one button at this mic, and I pushed it twice. But
It's magical hands and
no, we don't have to talk about it now. We can talk about it later. So, anything you would like to add to this picture?
Yeah, this is actually my favorite piece besides the castle.
And the print of it sold out first. Yesterday. I think yesterday already.
Sold out first. But here's the thing about this cat. They gave me the prototype, which is the G.I. Joe cat, I think.
Big Jim.
Big Jim cat. And the prototype was a black cat. And then they told me for the painting that he was going to be green. And I'm thinking, a green tiger. There's no way I can make this look good. Then he said, there's orange stripes on him. And I'm thinking, yikes, I'm really stuck with this thing now. Think about it, green and orange stripes. Nowhere else on the planet you find that combination.
Yeah.
So,
This, I think, is the reason why Battlecat gets so unique, and in my opinion, and don't throw stones now on the stage, He-Man alone is a boring character. He's always, but he's much more better when he's riding on Battlecat or he's next to Battlecat, so he gets more unique. For me, when they give the prototypes to you, were you able to keep this stuff, or did they want it back?
no, I kept everything, but I lost everything. I moved studios, twice or 3 times, so.
Yeah.
Somewhere in a transition, I lost it. Like the Wind Raider, I had the clay model. No, yeah.
Yeah, see.
And it was, I don't know where it
I'm
was.
having a heart attack right now.
Awesome.
Anyway, with this, the cat, he's not articulated at all. So I thought I was going to be stuck with him in that pose.
Mm-hmm.
But he said you can do whatever you want to it. So I tried to make a green tiger with orange stripes look really more than vicious. You know, he's going to come and jump out of that box.
I hadn't, when I was a child, I didn't have Battlecat, but I would have bought this one if it was a toy.
Of course.
The Battlecat looks quite boring without articulation. This was my personal opinion,
Yeah.
because I didn't get it.
Well, I think it was just static.
Mhm.
You know, you couldn't do anything with it. Doesn't look like it was running. You know, it doesn't lift its paw up. You can't go.
Yeah, this was always a little bit a disadvantage of the vintage toys, that the articulation was a little bit bad, and especially Battlecat had nothing. So it was our imagination that brought this toy line alive. So maybe that's one point, because Masters is still in our heads, because we need to put a lot of imagination when we playing with it. So
The thing is, nobody wanted to show the toy. That's why there was no cellophane bubble on this.
yeah.
And then when this sold very well, then they put that other box with the combo pack. Then
I
they
think
showed
we
the
have to-
tiger.
Here's,
Yeah,
here's
yeah.
the box art.
The one where he's riding them. Yeah.
And it's the next one is. I think we have the other Battlecat artwork later in the presentation.
Okay.
So
Anyway.
the next one we have here is, of course, one of the most iconic artworks for a toy box I've ever seen. Is, of course, Castle Grayskull. Okay, first things first. Why is Skeletor standing in there? It's not his castle. And why is Beastman fighting alongside He-Man? Can you explain that?
Yeah. Because Mattel had no storyline. All they wanted was action figures. If Mark Taylor didn't know the story, nobody was going to know. So there was no story, and it was left up to me. He just said I needed these characters in there. And in my limited view, I just saw the skeleton-looking guy. His house should be the skeleton house. Right? He would unlock the door, walk into the skeleton house. That's my natural assumption. And there was no good guys or bad guys. It was just guys.
Like in here.
Yeah.
So more than 40 years later, you were able to correct this mistake, or I don't call it a mistake, this error. Because it's an error because he didn't know, okay?
It was a creative decision.
Yeah. So you corrected this artwork for Grayskull Con for this year and did a new poster, which is to be sold at the flea market.
And nobody has seen it except you guys.
Yeah.
I don't post my work.
Ich sag's vielleicht kurz auf Deutsch. Es sind noch Prints von dem Poster da. Er ist auf 100 Stück limitiert. Wir hatten eigentlich gesagt, jeder kann nur eins mitnehmen. Es gibt aber wohl noch einige, also wer noch eins möchte oder auch ein zweites möchte, es wäre doch schade, wenn man das nicht von Rudi signieren lässt und vielleicht für einen guten Freund noch eins mitbringt. Es wäre doch schade, wenn die übrig blieben. I just told about the posters that there are still left over a few and they can get it after the panel. So,
He's the greatest salesman.
He's always selling stuff, so.
You buy it, you buy it, you better buy it. He's very gentle.
so there you have the final box. It's, I think we can not say any more about it. So let's see what we have next.
Well, I could say that the castle was another case of that green cat, where when I saw the prototype, I thought, wow, who's going to buy this? Because it's just, for one, I thought it was a dollhouse. When I was growing up, I was playing with BB guns and slingshots. I wasn't handling a dollhouse. So. I was thinking, who's going to buy this stuff? But I got to do my job, so.
And you didn't expect that you are sitting on a stage 40 plus years later and talking about this artwork.
This is how wrong I am.
So the next artwork was for the battle ram, and these are two artworks in one, because we see He-Man twice on it, and if we split it up, there are two cool action scenes. Are there any informations about this artwork you can give us?
These are laid out on one sheet, so they're going to print on one sheet. So that's the front, and the middle, the bottom section over there is the top of the box, and then the flap is the flying one. So it's done in 3 pieces.
So,
So
Rudy,
there's 3 panels on that.
Rudy, you told me yesterday there was a reason that they did no window boxes for the first vehicles, so it gave you a lot of room to create your artwork because it was always a closed box. So, do you know why Mattel was not putting a window in the box for the first?
Because I don't even think they like the look of the toys. I do advertising, so I kind of know, right? If they're hiding the product, that means they're not all that proud about it, you know? So, and then I can't do the box with a racy looking toy when the toy is kind of clunky. So they just kind of hid the product, which is kind of nice because it gives me a lot of real estate to draw on, you know. And then I could like he's too small on the sled, but it looks like the sled is real massive. And then I turned that little clunky sled into a Ferrari. It looked like it can really go, yeah. So yeah, so I had fun. I played with it, and I put on it what I wanted to see. So I'm glad you guys want to see it too.
And what do you like more, drawing or illustrating people, or fantasy vehicles, or dark castles like Castle Grayskull?
Oh, I don't know. I can do anything and everything. Most of my work was movie entertainment, so I always had to do a police car going through a billboard. All the people falling out of cars, ladies getting hit, ladies getting stabbed, all kinds. But yeah, I can draw pretty much everything. So.
Jürgen?
No, go on. We have so many pictures to look at it because here's the famous Wind Raider. We call it in Germany Windrider. It's most important. We were not able to speak.
What the tricks?
Yeah, and there now Twix. So it's a very, very, very interesting vehicle, and like you said, in our opinion, it was really an advantage that they didn't show us the vehicle at itself in the box, because these artworks were so iconic, and I think most of you guys sitting inside here were always staring at these boxes and just wanted to have it because of the box, not because of the toy. So this is a very interesting fact about Masters of the Universe. And after all, maybe we switch a little bit later to the classic toys, but you had also an imagination for the Wind Raider, and you said, the toy was too clumpy, and you made it more like a starfighter.
That looks like a British Spitfire. Because they're cool, right? Did you ever figure out why there was an anchor on an airplane? Nobody could answer that.
They thought it could be both a boat and an aircraft.
Oh, nobody told me that. So the jet.
Actually, the action feature of this thing, the anchor, would be to pull up people into the air. So a figure can stand on the anchor and can be winded up so he can climb the Wind Raider. And the other action feature was...
You have imagination.
That this could work. I don't know the English word, an Abrissbirne? Wrecking ball.
Yeah.
So this is what most people see in this picture.
That's what I put.
That He-Man is flying with the anchor, and he destroys Castle Grayskull, which is of course not the case, because we can see there's explosions everywhere. And He-Man is trying to protect Castle Grayskull.
No, he was trying to destroy it. Remember, that was Skeletor's house.
So guys, now you listen and learn. Now the whole story has to be written new.
After all these years, these mysteries are solved.
Urban legends now getting clearer at Lannister at Grayskull Con. So this is how it goes. Orbjorn?
See, that was the top panel of the box. So I had to make something happen there. I couldn't just have a castle sitting there looking up. So it made sense to me that it was a giant wrecking ball or a big whip with an anchor on the end. Because why would you have an anchor on a jet?
Because you can. In fact, they...
The English word is oxymoron.
In fact, they never really used the wrecking ball theme, but it was thought out to be why this anchor was on the flying ship. Because what I said, for carrying people through the air, hanging on the rope,
But where
and
would you-
for destroying.
Where would they go after you pull them up?
So I think we should go to the next one, because there are some special things we cannot talk about here, talk about over it. So, because you need to know that Mark is graduated in Wind Raidering. So he knows everything about the Wind Raider, and he actually wrote a book about this one.
Not the whole book,
But
just
yeah,
an article.
Yeah.
Small, tiny article.
200 pages.
Yeah. Let's go further, because we need to hurry up. There's so many things. Just we
have here the box art for the He-Man and Wind Raider gift set, which shows, of course, He-Man again with the flying anchor, and all the evil guys that are going to the ground because.
The ducking.
So you are free to use characters that weren't even in the toy line. So this guy here,
He's a fake guy.
yeah.
I needed one more character, so I just made him up right there.
Okay.
And then there's a whole bunch of people in the back that just shapes.
Yeah. You don't see how it is.
So Rudy, do you think it would be possible in these days for a company like Mattel that you do an artwork like that and you say, okay, I just put a guy in it because I need another one to finish the artwork, or are these the 80s and the late 70s and?
Well, it's Mark Taylor.
Oh.
I think he was the only guy I had to answer to. So in the tissue, in the sketch, if he said take it out, it wouldn't have been in there. So he just said, cool, do it.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever I did, he just let go.
So there we have the artwork for the He-Man and Battle Cat 2-pack gift set. And we can see there a lot of guys are in this picture from the first wave. And we see He-Man, Skeletor and Beastman, all three of them ride on this ferocious tiger. So there was no story, you said before, so you made up, I think, with
No,
everyone
it
can
was-
ride a battle cat?
Well, yeah, because I saw it as a horse. At the time, he wasn't talking. He wasn't a talking cat. He wasn't He-Man's buddy. He was a stationary cat with a saddle. So think about it. You have a saddle, you're a horse. I put everybody on horses. And yeah, and Mark didn't say, hey, there's only one green cat.
So Battlecat was no individual at this stage, I think.
No,
So-
it was just, he was an accessory.
Yeah.
So if you want to sell more green cats, everybody rides cats.
That's a really good point.
I'm in advertising.
Here's the box.
A legend.
The attack track, or as it called in Europe, often the flip track.
For me, it was the last package. I was up to here with them. This I had when Mark left. I think I did maybe a couple more boxes, and the toy line, the product line, was very successful at this time. He left because I think he thought he was going to get a bigger bonus.
Mm-hmm.
And he ended up just getting a cost of living increase, which is kind of sucky when you're responsible for one of the biggest toys ever. Anyway, so he was no longer there. Now I had to deal with 4 or 5 different art directors after that. And then at this point, everybody wanted in on the action, so all my art and sketches had to go through 6 signature line of approval. That means that's everybody plus the secretary gets to sign off on my art. And everybody gives 2 cents. So 6 guys, that's 12 cents worth of nonsense. So my studio was in Hollywood, Mattel was in El Segundo. Geography is like, I'm an hour and a half away. So every little change, I'm driving across town, picking up a wet oil painting, coming back, making a tiny change. And after a while, I was just like, I was explaining this my 6-finger rule.
Yeah, please explain us now. The 6-finger rule is very important.
Yeah.
Maybe for you work also.
Yeah, it's something when you're dealing with somebody difficult, who wants to put their stamp on your work, you put an obvious mistake in it. We call it the 6-finger rule, so you could put an extra finger, they'll catch it, they'll tell you, I've saved the day, and go take this finger out, and you just do it in one stroke, and it's gone. You don't have to spend all day redrawing a hand in a different place, or a leg moved over here to satisfy somebody's whim. So, and especially a color change in oil. You know, that's like 2 weeks worth of whatever's, you know. So, but this job was driving me crazy. I did not need them. So, and then the final straw was this archer. I don't know what he was thinking, but he said, "Can you knock off $50?" And I'm going, wait a minute, you're Mattel. I'm Rudy. It's a tank of gas for me. What is it to you? What's $50 to an art director who gets a paycheck? He's not even paying for the art. So I just said, okay, here's the art. I'll see you later. So that's what I turned something in. By the time I turned it in, I didn't know what it was. The perspective is all wrong. The colors are all wrong. Everything is nuts on it. It could have been, I thought it was one toy I thought was really cool. This wheel that just did clanky things. But I thought it was a good idea. They made it miserable. So that's Rudy's last stand, right?
So I added an interesting small thing that you might not know, I don't know. In Spain, they redraw some of the artworks from the original US release and did small changes. For example, you can see it here on He-Man's hair. It's not exactly your painting, they redraw it in Spain. You knew that?
Yeah, it's another 2 cents. Right? Will that change? Sell more art? I don't know. More packages.
Okay.
So somebody just gets a wild hair up, and then they just change it.
We'll never know, maybe.
Yeah. Maybe sold 2 more boxes.
2 more. I don't think that Spanish kids knew that there was a different box art in the USA. So we have Zoar, the fighting falcon, and Screech, the evil robotic bird of Skeletor.
Yeah. I like those, and that's another one I had the prototype for and I lost. Yeah. I have a big clay of E.T. though.
Just continue.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here are some more box arts for Screech.
That's not me. Just
That's
the bird.
not from you.
Yeah.
Okay, just the bird.
Just the bird.
Just the bird. You know who the artist of Tila was?
No.
No. Okay, nobody knows.
Yeah. No. Looks like they photoshopped the bird.
In 1983, they photoshopped.
Oh yeah. No, I converted to digital in '85.
Okay.
Yeah. Just when it finally got fast enough so you could do something in the same day.
So now this is where everything turns, because you told us the attack track was the last work, the last job you did for Mattel, and then we had this awesome comeback with the classics. And Mattel is still not talking about their own toy line, because I think they're not so proud about the classics because they are better.
Which is the classics? These?
Yeah,
These,
all these. So can you tell us how Mattel, or special some guys who working there 2010 or 11, how did they contact you, and how was the work for Mattel in these days?
Well, I was doing work for Mattel. I was doing other things, dinosaur, some Barbie stuff, and if you think Masters is crazy, the Barbie people are even more nuts. I am serious, those guys. They send you the correction and you go, what did you do? You can't even see what they're trying to tell you. Oh, she's not smiling right. Man, it looks exactly the same to me. But anyway, I was doing stuff for them, for other properties. Some were dinosaur things. I don't even know the names of them now.
Jurassic Park, maybe?
No, not those. They were just dinosaur toys. But they were articulated. They were
Extreme dinosaurs in the 90s? No, I don't know.
It was kind of toys. So.
It's not necessary anymore because nobody knows this Toyland. So.
But anyway, I was doing work for them, but it was not for Masters.
And then?
And then I got a call and said, we're going to do I think the Wind Raider again.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I thought, well, I can do that. You know, I've done that before. Is the same people there now?
So, do you remember who contacted you?
Yes, Scott Knightley.
It was Scott Knightley. So, yeah, sometimes we just need to cheer about Scott because it was his idea, and I think the panel 2 hours before the guys over here told you that when the prototype of the Wind Raider was shown back in the days when the classics were famous, this was an awesome thing because we had no Masters of the Universe in the toy stores and anything else. So it was really a great deal, and it was a great deal for us. Where we were sitting on our computers and we're watching, and when they showed us that there will be a Wind Raider, because we didn't expect it, and then we heard about that Rudy Obrero will do the box art, then everybody could hear the cheering even if you were not connected with earphones to your computer. It was so awesome because for us this was like a dream come true, because you were one of the heroes of our childhood, and then you bring life to classics, box arts, classic style again. So maybe we can give you big hands now for that, because now you can hear it. So.
Thank you. Before that, though, I found out that it had become a collector's item. After, I think, 2010, after not even thinking about Mattel at all, the Masters program, I got a call that said, "You're the one." And I went, who's this? You know, who calls you to say, "You're the one"? But anyway, he said, "We finally found you. You're the artist for the He-Man product." And I, "Yeah, I am. How'd you get my number?" I threw mine away. But anyway, he had somehow gotten in contact with Mark Taylor, who was no longer with Mattel for years. So yeah, this thing was like a blink in the dark for me. And then a couple of years later, I just heard there were fans out there, but I didn't think much of it because I was not involved anymore. And then Scott called and said, "Hey, we're going to do another Wind Raider." And I just thought, I can do that one. Yeah, if you let me do it the way I like to do it.
Yeah. Good move.
I have that thing shooting stuff, and it doesn't have a gun on it.
All with imagination.
There you go.
So, please one step back. You did also the Talent Fighter, the Castle Grayskull box set, and there everything, I think, every character has its right position. And after all, you made this Granomir. This was one question I wanted to ask you here on panel. were you inspired at all by the mini comic, or more than the Filmation cartoon, or what was it that gave you your inspired?
I'd like to give you a clever answer, but I don't have one.
This is why I love
Yeah,
to
we-
interview you.
I am doing this job, finish it, do the next job, do the next job. I'm one of those guys that fires and forgets.
Okay.
I do a job, I get another call, I do the next project, the next deadline, next one.
So it's not as romantic as we fans always think that it is, or?
I had to figure out who Branimir was and ask, is he a good guy or a bad guy? Because he's got fangs, you know,
Yeah.
and horns, so. And I like the idea that it was going to be big, though. It was a large. I got the prototype for that. So
Do you still keep it?
it's lost.
Okay.
Again. I don't have room for all that stuff.
Yeah, I understand this. We don't. Everybody of us don't have room for that.
So the next picture in our presentation is for a fan project. It's the Manta Radar, which was done for the PowerCon in 2012. And what makes this interesting to me is because a flying vehicle like this can be seen in the original Castle Grayskull artwork. I can skip that to that back to that page.
No, it wasn't inspired by that. Oh, the thing in the sky?
Yeah.
Oh.
This is. I noticed this when I did the presentation. I never thought of this before. Of course, I knew the Manta Radar, and of course, I knew the flying things in the sky. But when I did the presentation, I said, "Oh, let's ask Rudy."
This is subconscious stuff. My friends in high school told me that I always drew in my margins, you know, on my work and my homework and tests. I would just draw these air battles. And I grew up right outside of Pearl Harbor. You know, we could find shell casings on the ground. So that was my imagination. I was overlooking Pearl Harbor from the hills by my house. So I could look down and just imagine all that stuff. And it probably stuck because there was no reason for me to put flying things in the castle box.
Okay, it's by.
I needed something to be shooting at you. Anyway, and this is a simple process on this one. I got a new program, Painter, Corel Painter, and I just wanted to see if I could paint an ocean. No subject, just go and paint an ocean. Then I thought, wow, I'm gonna paint a wave. Then I'm gonna paint a surfing painting. And I thought, well, I'm gonna make He-Man surf. So he was originally on a surfboard. So he is, look at him, he's riding a wave.
Yes, of course.
So,
And
then I thought, I better keep this serious.
Yeah, and like you told us yesterday, you were a surfer guy when you were a young guy. So one of inspiration also, like you said to us, from your daytime living.
Yeah. So imagine the wave curling over his head. That's what it should look like. But like I said, I don't want to insult anybody. So, and then I had an idea that let's make a sea creature, a sea animal, and you know, manta ray is pretty cool. So that's how it made a mechanical stingray. And everything else is just made up because I needed the elements.
Does anybody in this audience own such a Manta Radar? I've never seen one person before.
Of course you did, Rudy. So
And it sold out very quickly at PowerCon, I
Yeah.
think. Yeah.
I think only 50 was made in about 10 minutes it's gone already.
So I think we have one more picture
And I have two more questions.
about this.
No,
or for
before
the
we-
following.
Yeah, and then we give some guys in the audience the chance to ask questions.
Yeah. The last picture in the presentation is very special to me because we started, Miriam and myself, with our magazine, and we had to ask somebody if they come up with some covers for us. We asked, of course, Simon Soltau and Simon Eckert, which are very talented artists, of course, but we're fans at this time. And this magazine cover for number 13 was done by you, Rudy, and we were so grateful to have a magazine cover by the famous artist who did the original box art, and it was so special to me. And maybe you can explain how this collage, this picture, was.
Most of it is just stuff I already did, like the sorceress is from the castle box, and the old castle box is in there, the battle cat, and the Tila on the side is just a painting I just decided to do, because I don't do Tila except for this tiny little character that's usually on the side or in the back. So I made her. I just wanted to see what I could do with her. But it's a painting, oil painting I started maybe 7 years ago, and it's never been finished. So you notice I never show the bottom of it. I got about that far in it. And the He-Man in the front was supposed to be for the Studio 7?
Super set.
Super 7. Their bubble pack. They wanted a He-Man. They hired me to do a whole bunch of art for their bubble packs.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know what happened. We didn't get along, or we just didn't. It never got finished. They never used my stuff, and I think I got paid. I'm not sure.
So this was the first time that both Tila and He-Man were shown to the public, or did you use these artworks for other projects?
You wanted a cover, and I just had extra people. I had extra art that wasn't going to get a copyright problem.
Okay.
So.
Really cool. Thank you again for.
So two questions left. Do you know what with the original oil paintings, are they still around? Do you think Mattel has it, or are you?
Everybody is wondering where the originals went, and if Mattel runs true to form, they don't know how to take care of their stuff. So I was turning in oil paintings, which they stacked together. So they would pull them apart. The paint would come off. They'd give me a call. Can you come down and fix this? And then you do it, and then you get the same call 2 weeks later. Can you come down and fix this? Don't stack them on. They don't dry for a year. So I switched medium after that just because of those guys. So I don't know if they're damaged. The way they operate could have been one lump of painting. They just got stuck all together, and they just dumped it out. But if somebody had them, it'd be out by now. So I don't think anybody has them.
There's two types of guys that own such artworks. There's the guy who put it in his house and never shows it anybody, and maybe there are some people who say, okay, this is art, this has to be for all the people to see, and they give it maybe for art prints, for books, or things like that, or put it on an exhibition so everybody can see it. So maybe we don't know if one of these artworks exists in somebody's basement or living room
Or
kitchen
toy room, yeah.
or toy room, we don't know, because some guys never let us know that they have something special in their room, and maybe they die, and then the house will be cleaned up by a.
I don't know. You're,
Yeah.
you're talking about Mattel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You better not think about
so,
it.
So that brings me to my last question. And can you imagine that you come back for one more project for Mattel, doing one more box art? Even I know you wouldn't do it for Mattel, but maybe for us fans, because we would. So, you know, because sometimes it's not the job, maybe sometimes it's about the fans. So do you think that would be possible if they call you or give you a call and say, are we running out of box art artists because we paid them very
You guys are
badly?
surrounded by talented people right here.
Yeah, but what do you think? Would this be possible for you? It's only a what if question.
Anything's possible.
Okay, that's great. Thank you for that. And is anybody down there in the audience, is there a question that runs wild in your mind that you always wanted to ask Rudy? Because we are in the comfortable situation that the next panel is also a panel that we run together. So we have overtime as much as we want. So
we started 50 minutes ago, so we're good in time.
We are perfect in time. So it's time for questions down there. So yeah, give me the mic. Come to you. It's good to running.
Something over here.
Thank you for starting the session. Questions. Yeah. What do you want to know?
How long did you work on a sketch like the Battle Cat we saw at the beginning?
The sketch or the painting?
The sketch art.
Let's take maybe a day and a half or 2 days. Yeah. Back in my younger day, I was really fast.
Thank you.
How
Some
did you guys
more
get that
questions?
one anyway? How did you get the image of that?
Yeah.
Because I gave it to Eamon
Yeah.
O'Donoghue.
Yeah.
He gave it to
Donahue.
you?
Yeah.
The Battle Cat Super 7 put that in the art.
See what
folder.
happens when you let stuff go? You see it everywhere.
Yeah. We are in digital times now, and everybody has everything. So, more questions? You're finished? You're done? Okay.
Okay.
Then, Rudy, thank you for having us, all the audience, and it was so much fun to hear it. And you had, it's always a pleasure to listen to a guy like you telling us from all these days back then, and working with Mark Taylor and some other guys, and you inspired us until today, and it will not end the next years. And every time on Grayskull Con, when we're sitting here and enjoy a panel, we will think about you, and that you gave us the honor to fly all the way from Los Angeles to a little town called Lennestad and have such a great time with us. So thank you very much, and thank you that you're here and have time with us. This is amazing. One more, louder. Come on. It's your chance.
have me here and recognize my work. So yeah, I appreciate you guys, and I'm amazed at all the art that has evolved. So, you know, I don't know, you guys may think of my stuff, but I'm amazed by that stuff.
Mhm.
And a lot of the things that people do around here, I'm rocked by that too, so. I hope it keeps going, because you guys are making it better. Yeah. And a lot of it fan art, which is even more amazing to me. You guys not even getting paid for this.
He's the biggest salesman, you always say, so, yeah.
I'm a mercenary, but you know. You guys just do it for fun.
Yeah.
So, just an, I lost my words, sorry. I tried in German. So we're continuing now with the Shira panel, Jürgen and myself, after maybe 5
10 minutes break, yeah, 5 to 10 minutes. You know, it's
just
Grayskull
to
Con.
catch some breath and recover. That will be a panel about 40 years of Shira. And I think Rudy will do a little rest now. And he said after the lunch he will do more signing in our mimic room.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? He said okay. So I think about 8:30
Okay.
after the lunch, so you can have a little pause and
Dinner, yeah.
recover.
Lunch was.
Lunch, of course.
So this is the chance for you guys to buy prints. The smaller prints are 20 bucks. The middle prints are 60 bucks and the big ones are 200. So they are high quality. Take your chance now. I know 200 bucks is a lot of money, but you get your art print right in front of Rudy Obrero. You have the chance that he signs it for you, and it will be one piece of memory that will ever last in your collection. So grab your chance, guys. Do this and have fun. Drink less beer. Buy more prints. So, wir sehen uns